Indie of the Week.
Ooh.
And this week, I thought we'd go a bit Dinosaur Islandy. Because everybody likes dinosaurs. Ben likes dinosaurs.
I really do.
He does. Look at his little face. He's delightful.
I had all the magazines. I had the glowing dinosaur with the little green shell that went around it. I had books on dinosaurs. Oh, I love dinosaurs.
Nobody ever asks you what your favorite dinosaur is anymore. It's the
Iguanodon.
crime of adulthood.
It had big thumbs. Or an ankylosaur had a big smashy tail.
Or a platypus.
Platypus? No.
This dinosaur looks a bit like a giant duck.
You're not right. You've gone wrong, mate.
It has a bill, and dinosaurs became birds, so it's just basically a giant duck.
Grand. I'll let the people in the comments explain biology to you. Right, we are checking out. I'm not getting involved in that one. Olmec games and the Drowned Earth. For a couple of reasons. One, it's cracking. Two, you can't stop me. I pick these. And three, that's true. Three, the newsletter this week threw up a little announcement as well. So I thought it'd be a good chance to showcase them in case people are interested, and then they can get involved as they see fit. So the Drowned Earth. The Drowned Earth is a future game. It's not post-apocalyptic. Everything has been apocalypsed, and the world has grown anew, and the world as we know it, long gone. Nobody even remembers it. It's like the pyramids. Nobody knows who built them,
pyramids,
how it was done. It's all
well, we do know ancient aliens. We know all this already.
Yeah, but we don't know which ancient aliens. There's a lot of them out there. So,
good posing there, John.
It could be any of them. Could be the Greys. Could be the Fingal Dangles. Who knows?
I vote for the tall whites, not the Nordics. The Nordics too hot for the Nordics to be there to build pyramids. Pyramids.
So, while there are dinosaurs, they are not our dinosaurs from our past. They are simply, if you imagine evolution starting again post the event. Nobody knows what the event is.
This is like a duck that evolved back into a dinosaur.
Yes. Everything goes away, and then new races, new civilizations, and species arise. Dinosaurs are rebirthed. Humans continue because we, cling on in there like cockroaches. But then also humanoid versions of lizards and intelligent ape-type creatures that may have descended from gorillas. All of these things are kicking around in a really unique world that's it's Waterworld when the waters receded.
Intelligent ape-like creatures. That didn't go wrong once before, did it?
No. Well, now there's two. There's the humans and then also actual ape-like creatures like, gorillas and stuff. So you'll see them later on anyway. But
not if they're in the mist, you won't.
Well, Diane Fossey isn't around anymore to coax them out, so we should be fine. See one coming, shoot it dead. So the game is played out on a small board, very dense terrain. So you're playing on sort of a 3x3. You're playing with small groups, so factions, of which there are, I think, 7 or 8. Factions are made up of. There you go. Groups of 5 to 15 models max, and in most cases you'll never really play with the full 15. So as far as a very tight skirmish game with a low model count goes, this one's an absolute corker. Some of the factions are bigger than others, and there are also within them things like the Elia heroes. There's a dinosaur hunter. It's fine there, just don't go into
clever girl.
But there are some sort of mercenary types that can be used across faction as well.
Yay.
But it's things like this that I really like. I mean, humans, smoomans, as I believe you kids say. But
watch out for this guy. He'll cut your head off and hang it in Toad Hall.
Poop, poop, poop.
Oh, dearie me. That's an additional set of pieces for the Elia hero from the Elia Chronicles game. So the Allow heroes are a team of 4. Again, multi-faction mercenaries, not a dwarf, just very short human. And then they had extra bits courtesy of the Kickstarter, so variant head types. I really like the gladiator helm as well, the Spanish helm. That one, yeah. For the little gruff dwarf, because he's, hench. See, I'm down with the kids. I've got Post-it notes stuck up there that tell me words to use.
Oh, sick.
I'm on fleek, mate.
That's wicked. Oh, no, wait. That gets scored off the list. That's old.
Anyway, book, as the kids would say. So your factions, there's a couple of different ways you can get into it. You can pick booster packs but there's also faction boxes, and a faction box will throw you a good chunk of your points needed for a game. So if you are getting into it,
where do I get a faction box?
A good way to go back to factions. You little jumpy round man, you.
Oh, factions.
And then pick one of those from across the top. So maybe something like the Wayfarers or Corsairs.
No, you want to pick a different one.
Well, not all of them have faction boxes. Not all of them are massive.
Oh, that would help.
So, yeah, I'm just saying.
There you go. There's a faction starter.
So there you go. So the games play out generally 100, 150 point games. Most of these faction boxes rock in around the 100-point mark. So you've definitely got enough for your beginning games, and then you can go in and pick other bits and pieces, sort of individual blisters to add to it to push it a bit further. And obviously they all have a very unique look, and they've all got a theme depending on the faction you happen to be kicking around in, whether they're explorers or traders or pirates. They lean into somewhat. I really like Birdman there with his fake wings. He used to have wings once, now I've just got feathery arms.
That must be annoying if you evolve past having wings.
Yeah. But they did evolve towards having opposable thumbs, so in many respects they win.
Swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I will say this week in that newsletter did talk about doing individual models directly from them. So at the moment, if you're after certain things, some of them only come in specific blisters or packs, but it's worth keeping an eye or maybe even pinging an email and asking what the state of play is on the individual stuff. Because there's some, especially for painters, there are some absolutely corking models, really unique, bit different, could fold into other games or could just be a really nice painting project. She's so happy. I don't know why she's happy. That's flesh, by the way. She's skinned a lot of people.
Well, this?
Yeah.
That's why she's happy.
That's why she's never happier than when she's got a butcher's knife out.
I don't know where she got this big red hand from.
She's ready for the 12th house.
I assume it's some sort of stop sign that has been found alongside an ancient road. But yeah, your games are an interesting blend. D10 system backed up with cards, and they have a nice mechanic where you have phases of success, essentially. So you can have, I think, do they call it neat? No, nailed it. There's a super duper success.
Are you reading off your list now? Nailed it. Is this just you reading your funky words list?
No, there's my chuggy. He's got my chuggy word list in his hand there. So when you're rolling under stat on D10, and if you're rolling opposed to your opponent, they're doing the same. But there's a band close to your success level where you've done it, but maybe you haven't done it as spectacularly as you could have. Cool. And then there's a further success, sort of more like a critical success, or that helps differentiate levels of success for when you're doing those opposed rolls. And then there's also an optional narrative critical success that you can fold in if you like playing more narrative games. And I think with something like the Drowned Earth and having those small skirmishy bands of really unique characters, adding in the narrative crits is a really good way of doing it. It's a gorilla with a gun. These are an unusual looking set of factions. He looks like Captain Sensible, which is another one for the kids in the audience. Go and Google Captain Sensible. You'll not regret it. there you can see like the stat lines and the like. So all of those numbers are D10 based and below, or in some cases will be actual numbers. So for health,
your
that
armor
type of
value
thing.
or something like that.
Yeah, that'll be taken off. So it's very clean setup as well. You can find out more about this because you can download the whole rules for free, gratis, off the website if you are interested, along with all the card decks. So if you go to,
I think it was on the shop in downloads.
Yeah,
maybe.
shop downloads right at the bottom. You will have to download it though, Lloyd. So
I'll have to sign in and all that jazz.
Yeah. The only difference between the free rules and the hardback is the hardback is lovely hardback, and it's got a ton more backstory and the like, because they're very, Olmec are really, really heavily into the narrative side of things, which you can see when you go to stuff like the story part of the website, which is just filled with short stories and tales from Ulia, which is the continent they're on. And they've just been building this up over time, including things like they did a campaign back in 2018, he said in a high questioning voice, where lots of people were feeding into it and giving their stories, and that sort of became part of the world. It helped grow what was going on. But I think it offers a really interesting tabletop to play on. You know, the derelict remnants of our civilization, looking not dissimilar to something like Machu Picchu or some, jungle covered Peruvian ancient world now to us. You're looking at it going, well, what was this place? What's going on there?
Yeah.
Was it all created by aliens? Nobody can build something that high. It must have been.
If you've played Horizon Zero Dawn on PlayStation, it's got a very similar vibe and look to it. So yeah.
But they're loving life and doing the best they can while they're out there. Now, all of the factions, obviously, like I was saying, all have their own sort of traits or themes behind them, whether they're treasure hunters or corsairs. Haven't mentioned the dinosaurs yet.
All right,
the dinosaurs are possibly my favorite faction / thing. Because if you go to the big drop down for factions, you'll see them right at the very bottom of it. Beasts.
Way.
Oh, baby.
And this is because while you're in the jungle attempting to find something or being chased by pirates, you might just upset a herd of something or a nest of whatever, or make somebody very hungry. And these things come reaping in out of nowhere.
They're so good.
So you're having to deal with essentially the wildlife of
dinosaurs. So good. Yes.
And that I really enjoy. It's not a faction that you're going to have to worry about. Your friends brought dinosaurs all the time. It's the pair of you have to worry about the fact that maybe something a bit biffy will get annoyed that you're there and it's trying to sleep.
Yeah. It's the wandering monster thing. Turned up to 11.
These I love because you've got sort of 3 levels. You can see there a swarm, and the swarms can be led by like an alpha, like that.
Yeah.
Which is like a level above, or sometimes alphas might just be kicking around themselves. And they, while cute and small, are more fearsome the more there are. So you're having to deal with packs of them, and they come charging out of nowhere. And once you've dealt with a couple of them, then the rest are less of an inconvenience. But it's
we have a painting tutorial on these
brutes. Yeah, we do. It's the big brutes that I really, really like, where you've got something like a intelligent herbivore there. Not a triceratops, because different but similar. Where they might just be wandering around the place and you happen to have come into its stomping ground, and now it wants to get rid of you. Those are nice. The raptor / T-Rex like big carnivores are brutal and brutal deluxe. And I love them.
Ayahuasca-saurus.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. I see the paint jobs they've picked.
Yeah,
spot on.
They're brilliant. Yeah,
so evocative. I painted one up I might stick up in front of the camera in a minute, for the Elia Chronicles. And what I did was Johan Eierkrantz, who I adore, has done a book on dinosaurs, which is actually being made into a board game as we speak.
It is, yes.
And I found one that looks very similar to the dino I wanted to paint, and just took his color scheme, essentially. It's that model, actually, I've painted, but mine's very different.
This one?
Yep. Yeah. See there?
Yeah, we can't see that.
No, like I say, I'll wait till you begging me again before I show that, because I'm not leaving here until we do. But with the dinos, apart from being big and brutal, they are gorgeous pieces. And I mean, if you get those, and then maybe you pick up something like 7TV, and then you take a wee wander across to Antediluvian Miniatures and pick up Troy McClure and the others from the Lost World, and you could do a really nice Lost World.
You really could, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm already disappointed though. There was no duck.
See,
maybe they'll listen to you and they'll put that in the future, Lloyd. They'll put a big duck in.
Can you see my lovely modelling?
We can see your lovely modelling.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's good.
Yeah,
that's what I did with mine.
The other thing that's really nice about Drowned Earth is that I think it's one of those that's perfect for getting terrain for, because you just go and raid the pet store and you just go and get all that stuff that you would put into a fish tank or a reptile tank, and you just build a ball out of that.
All you want is tons of greenery. The jungle is massive. Again, one for the kids.
That's right. You could just buy a few reptiles.
Yes.
Wait for them to die. Harvest the bones.
Oh yeah.
You're the worst.
Where's your gecko? In my terrain collection now.
I can't believe you would even suggest that.
Someone's done that.
Yeah. There's also, because I've mentioned it a few times, Elia is the continent they're on. Doesn't really specify which one it is. Could be the Americas, could be Europe, could be Australia.
So is Yulia like a city, or what's Yulia then?
No, it's the full continent. However, there's also a game called the Elia Chronicles, which is a cooperative narrative game, and the miniatures for that, which is the ones that I have kicking around beside me here, are cross-compatible with the game and vice versa. So if you don't want to play a competitive PvP style game, you against your friend, if you want to play a cooperative game, then that Raptor Island game is a great
against
way
the dinos.
Yes. It contains all the cards, so everything can be used back in the Drowned Earth as well, which means it's a really good starting point for people who might go, I'm not sure, because that's a self-contained game. Got the cards, the rules, everything's in there, and then you can get the rules for the full Drowned Earth game. And because you've got the cards in that set, then you've got a bunch of stuff where you can go, well, we can now test out the actual Drowned Earth as well. If you fancy going a bit more confrontational, adversarial, dinosaur.
Lloyd looks like he's found something sneaky, and he's.
I'm just looking. Are they what material are they using?
Right, so models are metal for the most part for the figures. The dinos are a PVC, so a thermoplastic like Ceocast type thing. However,
like
he's recently picked up
the resin.
No, that's 3D print. He's recently picked up a very, very top end, like 12K 3D printer, and there's
this
plans.
guy's had a terrible time.
He's fine. That has to go anyway. There are plans to play around with the 3D printer bit, so potentially, maybe if you want a specific model as a bust printed in 70mm scale, or larger, then they have the potential to do that now. They've a lot of plans over the next year or so to sort of expand where the Drowned Earth is and where it's going to, and then also in the background the store as a whole as well, which is nice. You can see they're corking stuff.
Did they have a fire? Because it looks like there's been a fire in this personal blog.
Yes,
the day before UKGE last year, which is why they weren't at it. Their house burnt down. So they've had a shit. 12 months. It went from super shit to we're getting better to we're getting by to, yeah, folks, we're pretty much back in business. Thanks for all that. So yeah, if people want to, then they can go and support in other ways. You can get funky t-shirts and hoodies as well.
If anybody's excited by the idea of the game and they want to learn more, we actually have a whole bunch of Let's Plays for the Drowned Earth and Raptor Claw Island and everything. So I'll put some links down below so people can go and check those out, because you can learn how it plays and have some fun. So yeah, very nice.
And the final little tidbit, the amuse-bouche to cleanse your palate before we go is
there's more.
On the 20th of June, they will be doing a Kickstarter for something. They haven't said, but there were little pictures that they sent in the newsletter. So it's worth having a butcher's at their newsletter if you want to know more about what's going on, what's happening, and where it is, because that looks fascinating. So Elias Central, excuse me, keep you updated with what's happening. But I've seen both Dinosaurs, what appears to be some sort of land cruiser with a koala as a lookout on top of a mast.
Amazing.
So it's giving me heavy Mad Max, the crazy riders in Mad Max.
Oh, right.
But on dinosaur basis. I don't know what's going on there.
We've got quite a few unboxings and painting tutorials over on OnTableTop.com.
Yeah.
Buy merch.
Buy merch.
Best part of that is there is no merch.
Oh yeah, there is no merch.
Anyway, so yes. Olmec Cubes, you should definitely go and have a butcher's at them, because I think they're one of those games and companies that lurk away in the background, and the people who play it love it, but not everybody.
A bit like Bushido, I always say. Yeah. It's like it's in that kind of camp for me. That kind of those lovely sort of corner games that are amazing, but more people need to see.
Don't get the exposure.
Yes,
which is what the Indie of the Week is all about.
Exactly,
all about exposing them. Right, I think it's time for some news.